even though he was the most powerful man in the world, even though he struggled with insomnia, even though he didn't have to, every day Marcus Aurelius woke up early. It wasn't easy, but he said to himself, I have to go to work as a human being. Or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm? Don't you see the plants, the birds, the ants, the spiders, and the bees going about their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can, and you're not willing to do your job as a human being? He said to himself, why aren't you running to do what your nature demands? Marcus Aurelius was beginning a process that would lead to a successful day. And no practice was more important to this routine than his journaling. Wherever Marcus Aurelius happened to wake up, he would spend a few minutes with the blank page. He would write down his thoughts or a quote from his reading. He'd clear his mind by reminding himself of what was important. He'd ask himself questions like, what are the most essential things I need to do today? And how can I ensure that I do the right thing even when it's hard? A healthy mind should be prepared for anything, Marcus reminded himself, saying that we should be like the wrestler, waiting, poised, and dug in for sudden assaults. And after this spiritual and mental exercise, it was time for physical exercise. From the ancient historian Cassius Dio, we know that Marcus was by nature frail, but he didn't stay this way. To be sure, Dio writes, he could not display many feats of physical prowess, yet he had developed his body from a very weak one to one capable of the greatest endurance. We can tell from the many references and meditations that Marcus enjoyed boxing, wrestling, hunting, horseback riding, running, even going for barefoot walks. These tired him out, but also made him stronger. And after he did his physical exercise, it was straight to a cold bath. In Meditations, Marcus tells us that cold baths were something that the doctor prescribed. And as a Roman, Marcus would have frequented one of the many bathhouses across the empire. It was in these cold thermal pools that Marcus said he liked to wash away the dust of everyday life. His cleansing cold bath was followed by some socializing with fellow citizens. He was an introvert, yes, but he knew that he was put on this planet for the sake of other people. That's why he talked over and over again in Meditations about working for the common good. And so this too was a part of his morning routine. He said because it's characteristic of social beings that they act socially. And now it was time to go back to the palace to change into his imperial robe. As he did, he liked to remind himself that his purple robes were sheep wool dyed with shellfish blood. He did this every morning actively. He wanted to do his job. He knew it was an important one. But he said everything must be done with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, and with justice, and most of all, without complaint. His morning routine, as it wound down, prepared him for the long workday. And so with that, Marcus went to tackle his day's most important task. Some people check off the easy things first. Some people procrastinate. Some people spend the day in reactive mode. Not Marcus. Marcus believed in tackling the hard things while he was fresh. Concentrate on what's in front of you like a Roman, he said. Do it like it's the last and most important thing in your life. And that's what the emperor did. Every morning, every day he was on this planet. You see how few things you have to do to live a satisfying and reverent life, he wrote to himself and now to us. If you can manage this, that's all even the gods can ask of you. And so now the question comes to you, how will you spend your day? And how will you spend your morning? Because how you spend your morning and how you spend your days is, of course, how you spend your life. If you want to have a good day, if you want to have a good life, start with a morning routine. Own the morning, own the day,